All right, welcome back into the Rocky Top Insider postgame show. One final time from Neyland Stadium right here in 2021. Tennessee gets the win over in-state rival Vanderbilt by a score of 45-21. Ryan, it's been a long season. It's been a wild season, but at the end of the day, Tennessee finishes the regular season 7-5 with a winning record in Josh Heupel's inaugural year and headed to a bowl game. What are your overall thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a success. I think we've said it before that we thought 6 wins in the regular season coming in this year would be a success. Maybe not a massive one, but a good stepping stone. And certainly 7 is just one step further. Just the 5th Tennessee team to do that since Philip Fulmer's been fired, which is crazy. But it was a good year for Tennessee. Certainly there's some things you can look back on, nitpick, some games that they were close in and they didn't win. But overall, coming into the year, I said it before the year, I said it throughout the year, I'd never seen this Tennessee fan base be more apathetic. Josh Heupel gave people reasons to buy in. The offense was exciting. They figured out the quarterback position. Though it took them a little bit. They figured out the quarterback position and a defense that was expected to be just putrid. They weren't great, but they played really hard, and in close games they found ways to get stops when it was late in the game.
Let's talk about that offense for a second. Let's talk about that quarterback for a second. We can talk about his post-game in a minute, although it doesn't seem like we know too many of his plans for the future. But, man, Hendon Hooker has been a guy who has been able to lead Tennessee throughout the year, and not too much different today. You know, certain plays here and there we can nitpick if we wanted to, but at the end of the day, man, I think what we talk about is the fact that he has been able to lead this team so well, was able to lead this team in the regular season finale, and play a good game. Now, after the game, he did talk about it. They asked him, hey, when is that conversation going to come? When is that announcement going to come, whether he returns or not for next year? His answer was simple: when the time is right. Just wait. You know, I don't think he had too much. I think that this team, and especially the quarterback, they take after their head coach. And their head coach has a 1 week at a time mentality. And I think that's the way they're taking it as well.
Certainly, and Hooker wasn't tipping his hand at all. He didn't go through senior day activities. He didn't make much of that. He was just on the field here a second ago taking some pictures. Make of that what you will. But he completely changed this Tennessee season. I mean, all the good things like we just said in the opening of this video, none of that's possible if Joe Milton was Tennessee's starting quarterback. Maybe Tennessee can get to 6 wins still.
I would agree.
But it certainly wouldn't have done it the way they did. And they certainly wouldn't have had the excitement around this team the way they did. So you going into next year, I think that's the biggest thing to watch is where Hendon Hooker will be, because if he's back in Knoxville, Tennessee should have a really good offense again, and there's going to be a lot of excitement and a chance for Tennessee to go out and continue to build off of a good start to the Josh Heupel era.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So if you're asking the question, what is next for Tennessee? Well, a little bit of it has to do with recruiting. The coach is going to get back out on the recruiting trail tomorrow. A couple of days off for the guys throughout the week, but certainly the workload is going to ramp up as we get closer to a bowl. Ryan, what are your initial thoughts on bowl season for Tennessee? Yeah,
I think the Kentucky game tonight is going to be a good one to follow. Alabama winning over Auburn, I think, kind of helps Tennessee in the bowl scheme. I think if Alabama loses that one, they probably fall down below New Year's 6, and that bumps Tennessee down a peg. So it's wait and see. I think the 3 most likely Duke's Mayo Bowl, the artist formerly known
Charlotte.
The artist formerly known as the Belk Bowl, the Music City Bowl, and then the Gator Bowl. I think it'll probably be one of those 3, but time will tell.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, let's kind of wrap up our thoughts on today's game. There were a lot of big plays. Certainly, Cedric Tillman is a guy who continues to evolve throughout the season, turning into one of the most dynamic receivers in the league. Theo Jackson had his first interception of his senior year this season. Took it all the way back right here in this end zone for a touchdown. What were some of the biggest plays that stood out to you from today?
Yeah, that one was the big one. Tennessee's offense, just for really the second time all year, didn't have a great first quarter. I think it was the first time all year they didn't score in the first quarter. Definitely, especially when you consider their first drive. They started at Vanderbilt's 20-yard line, went 4 and out, turning it over on downs. But the Theo Jackson play, you love to see that for him, a senior who's had a really good season. Get one big play like that, and then Cedric Tillman just keeps chugging along. He was the go-to guy again today.
For real.
2 touchdowns, could have easily had a third one. Hooker just overthrew him just a bit. He got one hand on it, couldn't haul it in. And I thought it was interesting in the postgame. Obviously, he has a decision to make whether he wants to go pro or not. He didn't, say he's decided or not, but Josh Heupel talked like a guy that was both expecting him back, but at the same time making a sales pitch. He was saying this is just the beginning for Cedric. He has a chance to be an elite player going forward, and I think Josh Heupel really wants Cedric Tillman back, as he should. What a season he has! Just needs 69 yards. Just needs 69 yards for 1,000 in the bowl game.
There you go, and certainly achievable. Certainly with the pace that he is on as well. Hey, that'll wrap it up for us today. right here on the field, Neyland Stadium. Rocky Top Insider for Ryan Schumpert, for Rick Butler. Don't forget to check out all of our stuff online on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever else you can find it, and especially on our website, www.rockytopinsider.com. Otherwise, we will see you back for bowl season.
Yes, sir.